Hello and welcome to another episode of Chasing 48. I'm Zach Harley. This is a Ghost Runner Media production. Appreciate you joining me here. Got a lot to talk about. The Tribe sitting in third place right now in the AL Central at 10-11 after having a walk-off dinger from Luplo. Loop, there it is. Loop, there it is. I love the commercial. I love the walk-offs even more. I'll get to that in a little bit. Going to introduce a new segment at the end of the podcast here, so make sure you stay tuned in for that. But I wanted to start today with yesterday's starting pitcher, Zach Plesac, my guy, my boy. He's been blown up in his last two starts. Yesterday, takes the mound against Minnesota, twirls a great game. Everything we expect Zach Plesac to do, he did last night against the Twins. He goes 7 2/3 inning, 5 hits, gives up 3 runs, Ks 4. And, you might be hearing those like, okay, those are good numbers. I don't think it's anything to get that excited about. Well, it is. It is. It is something to get excited about. When his last two starts, now they both came against Chicago. They both came against the White Sox in that series there. But his last two starts, 5 2/3 over 2 games. He only went 5 2/3 because the one he got pulled after 2/3. Gave up 14 hits and 12 earned runs. And he only K'd 4. And that's in his last 2 starts. He gave up 12 runs in 5 2/3 innings. So he comes back yesterday, bounces back in a big way, very necessary, very needed for this Indians rotation. And look, Zach Plesac isn't going to be perfect all the time. He sometimes is going to struggle like he did against the White Sox. But what I'm hoping, because I don't know right now. I don't know what Zach Plesac. Yeah, he pitched well against Detroit, and then he gets blasted against Chicago, and then he comes back and pitches really well against a Minnesota Twins team that can't hit right now. So is Zach Plesac, is he just going to struggle against Chicago? Like, remember when Justin Verlander was in Cleveland, he just couldn't, or was in Detroit, he just couldn't pitch against the Indians. He couldn't do it. He was a Cy Young caliber pitcher. He just couldn't pitch against the Indians for whatever reason. They had his number. They knew what was coming. They knew what he was going to throw him. Is that the case with Zach Plesac and the Chicago White Sox right now? I mean, 5 2/3, 14 hits, 12 runs. I'd say they know what's coming. And no, I'm not I'm not saying it's some Astros trash can banging thing. They faced them a lot last year in the 60-game season. You played 40 games against your division, 10 against each team, and then you played 20 against the opposing division, so the Indians played the NL Central. So maybe the White Sox just know what's coming. They know what to expect out of Zach Plesac. Maybe he can only pitch against the Detroit Tigers and the Minnesota Twins, who have a combined batting average of like 206 on the year right now. So who knows? I don't know what Zach Plesac is going to do in the future. I am very high on him. I think he can be a very, very solid number 2, if not a very, very good number 3 in a rotation. So what can we expect? I don't know, but it was great to see him bounce back last night against the Twins on Monday. Again, I'm recording this on Tuesday the 27th, so just if you're listening in the future there. It was nice to see him bounce back because after those last 2 starts against Chicago, I was getting a little worried. And I know it's silly to worry. It's April. It's a full 162. We got like 5 months left to go in the season. I get that. I know. I get it. But at the same time, giving up 12 runs and not even 6 innings against the same team 2 times in a row, that is rough. You can't have that. And that makes a rotation that I think is the best in the American League, starting with Bieber, and I'll get to him a little later. Savali McKenzie, and Logan Allen has had his struggles too. I'm giving him a little more time before I try to figure out what's going on with him, because this is first year starting in the bigs full time, so got to give it a little more time. And you know what, if he falls off, Cal Quantrell's going to walk in and do the same thing. So if Plesac can give the Indians 4 solid starters, all you got to do is score 3-4 runs a game, which I know is a task for this team right now. I know it's a struggle for this team. I know they're not doing that right now. But that's what you want out of a rotation. You get 4 guys in there that if you put up 3 to 4 runs, you have a good chance to win. Because it's not going to happen all the time. Plesac's going to get blown up. Savali's going to have a couple bad days. McKenzie's going to have a couple bad days. And hell, Bieber's probably going to have 1 or 2 bad days too. So it's not like they're always going to give up 1, 2, 3 runs in a game. But if they do, if you can count on that, and the offense only needs 3 to 4 or 5 runs to win a ball game every night, that sets you up for pretty good position to make a run at the playoffs. And I know we're not there. It's April 27th. Like I said, we got 5 months to go. I know. And it might have been silly to worry about Plesac a little bit, but it was worrying. Now, what's nice, when he does struggle, he still doesn't walk anybody. Plesac, his command is on. So I think maybe just Chicago has a better approach than everybody else. Maybe it is to swing first pitch, second pitch, because you know he's going to throw strikes. He only has 3 walks this year. He's made 5 starts. He's only walked 3 guys. 67% strike on the year. You know that guy's going to throw you a strike. So if you're in the batter's box, you might think, hey, first pitch, second pitch, that's going to be the pitch that I want to hit. That might be the case. We will find out. But it was nice to see Zach Plesac rebound yesterday against the Minnesota Twins. And again, that would solidify the rotation because Savali right now, 2.42 ERA in 26 innings. He's K'd 22, only walked 9. That whip, which is walks and hits per innings pitched, he's averaging less than a base runner a game. Aaron Savali is. Bieber lights out again. I'll get to him. Tristan McKenzie, I like him. If he can cut down on walks, I like him. He walked 4 in his last game against the Yankees. He walked 4 against Cincy. And now against the Yankees, struggled a little bit. 4 innings pitched. He only gave up 4 hits. 3 runs scored. Walked 4, as I said, K'd 5, but the pitch count, 87. So his strike-to-ball ratio is evening a little more than we would like. So if McKenzie can get the walks down, clean that up a little bit. He's got 14 total on the year. If he can clean that up a little bit, and just throw strikes. I mean, he's not allowing a lot of hits. He's not giving up a lot of base runners besides the walks. So I like McKenzie. I like Savali. Obviously, Bieber. If Plesac can keep doing what he did in the first 2 games of the year and then what he did last night, I like it. Now, staying with last night, okay? Last night against the Twins, game 1 of the series. I thought this was funny. And I'm going to get to Jordan Luplow in just a minute, but I thought this was funny, and I wrote this down, so I made sure I didn't forget it. So last night, Jose Barrios was the starting pitcher for Minnesota, their ace. I love the guy. He's not doing what he can do right now. His ERA is floating around 3, which is what you want. But I think he's more of a 2.6 ERA guy when his stuff is at the top of where it can be. But Barrios starts for the Twins last night. Rocco Baldelli, Minnesota's manager, forgets that there's a new rule in place as of 3 years ago that you can't make a mound visit twice in the same inning to the same pitcher. So Minnesota makes a mound visit, checks on Barrios in the 7th, I believe. Checks on him. All right, everything's good. Goes back to the dugout, lets him do his thing. Later that inning, well, Rocco Baldelli says, I think I need to check out my pitcher again. I think I gotta go over some strategy here. Well, Baldelli, you can't do that, Rocco. You can't do that. So what do the umpires tell him? They said, hey, are you bringing in a reliever? You need to bring in a reliever. That's not allowed. Barrios can pitch no more. 2 mound visits in the same inning, you're done. Pitcher's gone. So they got to bring in a reliever. I think it was Taylor Rogers. But how do you forget that as a manager? I thought that was funny, and I think it's a big reason they won too. I do, because they probably use their bullpen a little differently if Barrios finishes the 7th inning. But now you got to get a guy warmed up quickly in the bullpen. put him in the game. Now you got to warm up another guy because whoever is on the mound isn't 100% warmed up, so he's just going to go the 3 batters and get the hell out of there. I thought that was funny. I just did. Rocco Baldelli, you got to know better. It's not 5 years ago anymore. You can only go to the mound so many times. So I thought that was funny, and the Indians caught a break there. Jose Ramirez eventually, it's a very important game-tying home run to eventually send it into extra innings. I think he hit it in the 8th. That was beautiful. But I thought that was funny. Okay, Luplow. He hit a home run last night. Jose ties it up. Luplow, bottom of the 10th. Boom. Home run, left field. Pulls it as a right-handed hitter, which means he was going against a right-handed pitcher, which he is not known to do well against. In his career, normally he only hits against lefties, and then they platoon him against righties. But last night, goes yard again. His 6th time this year that he's gone yard. That is tied for the league lead, I believe, at 6 apiece with like 8 other guys around Major League Baseball. So he has 6 bombs right now against right-handed hitters. He's actually hitting 263, which I'll take. I think a good batting average is 270. But 263 for a guy that you told me couldn't hit right-handed pitching, I think it's pretty good, which makes me go on what I said last week and say this guy should be an everyday player. He should be your full-time right fielder. End of discussion. I think Terry Francona is getting closer and closer to that being the reality for the Cleveland Indians, that Jordan Luplow is in right field. Because you're not going to run Franmil out there. And I'll get to this a little later, but it looks like, why can't I think of his name right now? I'm gonna go off on him in a little bit. Josh Naylor. It looks like he's going to be the full-time first baseman. Hint, a little peek into about 10 minutes from now. But Luplow, he has to be the full-time right fielder. And I was talking to one of my buddies earlier, and he said, well, is he really going to be the answer in right field? Is he going to be your answer? I said, look, I don't know. He's hitting 207 against lefties, so he's not a complete, package. He's hitting like 220 on the year. So I don't know, but he's never had everyday playing time before. He's always been a platoon guy against lefties, and you don't get lefties that often. You normally get 1 out of every 4 pitchers, 5 pitchers are lefties, so he wasn't playing that often. So being age 27, 28, he's 27 now, but being around that age, normally you're like, well, he hasn't done what, he can probably do, so he's gone. But he hasn't had full playing time yet. So maybe this is the year with full playing time that he can cement himself as an everyday player. I mean, guys all around the league right now this year, it's very popular for guys over the age of 27, 28 to break out in a big way. Mike Yastrzemski did it for the Giants 2 years ago. He was in MVP voting last year. He was a 28-year-old rookie. Yermin Mercedes, he's a 31-year-old rookie right now for the White Sox. He's hitting over 400. And I'll hit on him a little later, too. He's hitting 400. He didn't make his debut until he's in his 30s. So, yes, normally, guy 27, 28 years old, he's probably hit the end of the road if he's just hitting the majors right now. But things might be changing. And with Jordan Luplow, if he can be an everyday guy, he may be able to show that he proves to be an everyday guy. You don't know. But what I do know right now is he's hitting out of this world. His on-base plus slugging percentage, 1.006. Hall of Fame is 900. All-Stars like 850. The dude's got an OPS of 1006. It's absurd. He goes yard a lot. He's got an 1142 OPS against right-handed hitting. Just plug him in against right-handers every damn day. Seems like he's going to do damage. So Jordan Luplow, love it. Love to see it. Loop, there it is. I love it. It's so much fun. And I love the home run last night. So Jordan Luplow walks it off. Now before the Minnesota Twins game last night on Monday, the Indians had 4 hard-fought games against the Yankees. And I'm not going to cover those too much because I got some stuff to get to. And what do you want me to say? What do you want me to talk about here? The offense struggled. that the offense put runs up early and then couldn't hold the lead because they only put up 2 runs, and the Yankees are going to score some runs, especially helped out by errors. What do you want me to say? Team's hitting .206 right now. They lost 3 of 4 to the Yankees. Okay, and it sucks. It sucks. It sucks that the Yankees were in last place in the American League before that series, and now they're not because the Indians let them win 3 of 4. It sucks, but I don't know what you want me to say about it. They couldn't hit. What I will say, it was a sloppy series out of both teams, especially that Thursday game. Oh, my goodness. Gardner dropped a ball in left field on Thursday, and then Naylor had an error, and I think another Yankee had an error all in the first couple innings. It was a sloppy series. These two teams, they're both getting their footing. The Yankees because of injury, the Indians because of cheapness out of the ownership. But either way, they're both getting their feet wet right now in the season, and man, that was a sloppy series. Now, what wasn't sloppy, what was beautiful, what it was pegged to be, Cole versus Bieber delivered everything. Everything you could have asked. Bieber was lights out. Garrett Cole was more lights out. If Major League Baseball can have that happen 3 times a week, I think people would really, really enjoy it. Because I know chicks dig the long ball, right? And you want to see runs. 8-7 is a fun game. It's a great game, and it is. 8-7 is a fun game. But you know what? I like seeing Cole and Bieber just knock down lineups like it's nobody's business. That's what I liked seeing. I liked seeing Garrett Cole, and I'm an Indians fan. I didn't hate seeing Garrett Cole just make the Indians lineup look ridiculous because I was looking forward to it. I wanted to see it Saturday, 6 o'clock start, Bieber, Cole, Indians, Yankees. Got a lot of recent history because of the playoffs, even dating back to 2007. And I know way before that, you got some Yankees hate in you. But 2007, man, that started it for me. And I know it goes back to the 90s, but I was born in 94, so I don't know what you want from me there. 2007, you got the bug game. And then it seemed like they played them all 3 years in 16, 17, and 18. That's what I want to see. I want to see Cole make the Indians look foolish. I want to see Bieber make the Yankees look more foolish. So I love to see it. I love that outing. That was the only bright spot of the series, I thought. I know McKenzie did okay. He got pulled early. I touched on that earlier. But that was the only fun part for me. And I know Yankees fans didn't even have that much fun with the series, except for Garrett Cole and Rougned Odor making the Indians look like a AA team because he couldn't hit before that series, and then he became Babe Ruth. So it was a sloppy series all around. Garrett Cole and Shane Bieber really saved that. Now, oh boy, are you ready? Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Because I don't know if I'm ready, but I got to do it. And just say 2 key words, and if you're driving, you might want to pull off or else you're going to crash your car. Jake Bauers. I know I didn't give you enough time to pull off. Jake Bauers. Oh, my goodness. Why is he on the team? Why is he on the team? Can someone give me a good explanation other than Terry Francona feeling bad for him that he's still on the team? I don't understand it. I don't get it at all. Now, I do think he's close to being gone. I do think he's very, very close to not being an Indian anymore. Right now, his batting average is a $121. $121. He has 1 RBI. He has not scored a run. He has 4 hits in 33 at-bats. He has an on-base plus slugging of .323. He has an on-base percentage of .171. He doesn't even get on base. He gets on base 17 out of 100 times he steps to the plate. Take the bat out of his hand. Stop sending him up there. It's painful to watch. It's so painful to watch him just go up to the plate with no idea of what he wants to do or what he wants to do with that pitch. He is lost. He has no idea, and he's been lost. He's been lost for his entire career. That's why his entire career gives him a .210 batting average. I think he's close to being gone. I do. I think he's close to being gone. Josh Naylor, I think, is going to be the full-time first baseman. I called for it last week, and Francona might have listened. Also, what he might have listened on, Cesar Hernandez led off the game yesterday for the Tribe. First game of the year that Cesar has done that. We'll see as the lineup drops tonight for Game 2 against the Twins if Cesar leads off again. And another thing I want to see when the lineup drops tonight is Josh Naylor going to be the first baseman again? Because he started the last two at first base. He started against Minnesota, and then on Sunday he started at first against the Yankees. So that's 2 straight. He has 3 games this year at first base, 2 in a row. And Josh Naylor, I will get to him, I promise. My brain is so annoyed with that man. But Jake Bauers, he hasn't started a bunch. He's only started a couple games. He's only started 4 games in the last 2 weeks. I knew I wrote it down. I couldn't find it. Jake Bauers has only started 4 games in the last 2 weeks. Francona's either running Yu Chang or Josh Naylor out at first. And then Luplo's been in right for the most part. I think Jake Bauers' time is done, and it needs to. It needs to, because you know who can come up, who we didn't get to see last year because of the COVID protocols and all that, minor league baseball canceling their season and everything that went along with that? Daniel Johnson. Remember him, the guy that the Tribe got from Yan Gomes in that deal two winters ago? He had a very, very good spring training. He's a right fielder. He's a pure outfielder. It would help you a lot not having to run Ahmed Rosario out in center field, which I don't hate. I don't think he's a bad center fielder. But I don't know if you want him to be your everyday center fielder. And I don't know, Daniel Johnson isn't going to be an everyday center fielder, but he can help. Daniel Johnson in spring training hit .368 batting average. And you're saying, well, Zach, that's spring training competition. Opponent quality 7.9. That is almost every at bat against a major league caliber pitcher. That's what opponent quality means. Lower it is, the less likely that guy has ever pitched in the majors. Higher it is, on a scale of 0 to 10, obviously, the more likely it was against a major league pitcher. So 7.9, that's one of the highest opponent qualities I've seen going over spring training stats in a long time. I think he can come up and look, let's play this game. Could he do worse? Could he do worse? Could he do worse? I don't think he could. I shouldn't have whispered. I really threw out my voice there. All right, I'm back. Could he do worse? I don't think so. I don't think he can do worse than 121. I don't think Daniel Johnson can do worse than 210 for a career. So let's do it. Get rid of Jake Bauers. Still dying over here because I just choked on nothing. Get rid of him. DFA him. Get him out of the Indians organization. Don't want to see him ever again. I mean, maybe in a Detroit Tigers uniform. That seems inevitable for no reason. They just seem to pick up all the Indians' scraps, which the Indians have the scraps of everybody else. So what does that tell you about the Tigers? But you bring up Daniel Johnson and give Rosario a day off. Ahmed can play shortstop sometimes when Jimenez needs a day off, or if Jimenez really starts to struggle, you can plug him in and not miss a beat there. I like the Daniel Johnson call-up. I think they should do it. I obviously think they should get rid of Jake Bauers, start Naylor at first. I said this last week. Luplo's your full-time right fielder, Rosario in center, and then bring Daniel Johnson up and plug him in where you can. But Jake Bauers, he's got to go. He's got to go. He comes up in big spots, and he can't do a damn thing with the bat. Can't do it. You're pinch hitting Jake Bauers, you might as well pinch hit me. I only have 4 less hits this year than he does. And I have way less plate appearances because it's a big fat 0. So get Daniel Johnson up. Or if you want Bobby Bradley, go ahead. Go ahead, and then you can play Josh Naylor out in right field and go through that experiment if you want. But for me, I'm not a big Bobby Bradley fan. Give me Daniel Johnson. Give me the athlete. He can play. Get Jake Bauers out of there. I would love to see it. I would love to see Jake Bauers no longer in an Indians uniform. All right. New segment. New one of two segments that I'm starting today. First segment, love to see it, hate to see it. All right, things I love during the week, things I hate during the week. Obviously, I hope you could probably figure that one out. So, number one, I got 3 things I loved and 1 thing I really hated. So, number 1, for love to see it, Shane Bieber is your MLB league leader in strikeouts with, where'd it go? 57. He has 57 strikeouts in 36 innings pitched. That is 14.1 strikeouts for every 9 innings pitched. Yes, if he throws 9 innings, he is expected to strike out 14 guys. Well, Zach, it's early. He's only had 5 starts. We'll see what happens when they start facing other teams like the Red Sox and the Rays and the Angels. No. I mean, maybe. But last year, he did the same damn thing. He struck out 14.2 batters per every 9 innings. So this is Shane Bieber. This is it. He's 25 years old. He's the best pitcher in baseball, maybe besides Jacob deGrom, which you could probably start to argue if he does this for 1 more year. I love to see it. An Indians pitcher, again, leads the league in strikeouts. It happens every year. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Another thing I love to see out of the Indians pitching, Bryan Shaw, the man. He is a stud once again. I love it. It makes me so happy every time his unshaved face and his ungroomed head walks onto the mound. I adore it. This year, he has a 1 ERA. Yes, he gives up 1 run every 9 innings because that is exactly what he's done so far. He's pitched 9 innings and given up 1 run. He's given up 2 hits. Now, he's walked 6, but I don't know the context of all the walks. They could be bad walks, but there are such things as good walks for relievers. All right, so say Bryan Shaw gets the first 2 outs. And he's facing, I'll say, the White Sox. Okay, so he's facing the White Sox. He's got 2 outs. He needs 1 more out. Well, their 6th hitter that day is Yermin Mercedes, and he's 3 for 3 on the day, and he's hitting .416 this year. And you're going, okay, I'm not going to let that guy burn me because, I don't know, whoever the hell the next batter is batting like $130. So what are you going to do? You're not going to pitch to Mercedes. I mean, if he wants to chase some stuff out of the zone, go ahead. But for the most part, you're going to throw him some out of the zone stuff. Hope he chases. If he doesn't, take the walk. That's fine. And I'll go get the next guy. I'm thinking that's where it is because he's given up 8 base runners. 6 of them are walks. So he has to know where the ball's going. So I'm thinking these walks are not intentional. And I'm sure there was 1 or 2 that, he didn't want to walk the guy, but he did. But I'm thinking these 6 walks, a lot of them so far are, okay, I don't want to pitch to that guy. So I'll just pitch around him, and then I'll get the next guy. And he's done it so far. He has a whip, walks, hits per innings pitched, .889. He's not even allowing a base runner per inning. It's beautiful, Bryan Shaw. Beautiful, because the 3 years he was gone, from 18 to last year, he was 2 years in Colorado, and then he played a few games for Seattle last year. He had a 6.17 ERA. Yeah, wasn't good. He pitched 132 innings. He had a 6.17 ERA, and he was giving up 1.6 base runners per inning. I'll take this Bryan Shaw a lot more. So I love to see it through 1 month of the season. And Franmil Reyes, the God. Oh my. Get on your horse, big fella, and move. Whoo! 2 triples this week. 2 triples this week, and he stole a base. And he stole a base, and it was contested. Now, the catcher didn't make a throw because he lost it on the transfer, but he was gonna. And he stole the bag, and he got a damn good jump on it, too. The dude is like 6'5", 260, and he's moving around like he steals bags all the time. Triples here. He's got the stolen bag. Are you kidding me? I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, you want to know what I hate? Because you're going to hear about it anyways unless you click off. What I hate to see is Josh Naylor's week and a half from hell. He had a week and a half straight from hell. It started with the Reds series. He had that error at first base, the Buckner, that allowed the Reds to win. Remember that? I know it seems like a long time ago. On Tuesday, he ignores the third base coach against the White Sox. White Sox go on to win that game, but Naylor, he would have stopped at third. It would have given the Indians bases loaded, and Jose Ramirez would have been to the plate. Josh Naylor instead runs right past Sarbaugh. Sarbaugh, if you're watching, he's here. He's telling him to stop, and Naylor's already past him, head down, just rolling. It was idiotic base running. Got to look at the base coach there. Young listeners, look at your base coach. When you round second, don't worry about that ball is. Don't worry about it. If you're rounding second and you're going to third anyways, look at your base coach. If he tells you to get down, get down. If he tells you to stop, stop. If he tells you to keep going, keep going. But you watch him and listen to him. He can see the ball. You can't. So that was his second stupid thing of the week, but we weren't done there. Oh, no, we weren't done. Because then against the Yankees on Thursday, oh, man, Indians are up 3-1, and not a ground ball, but a ball flies into right field to Naylor, and he goes to pick it up, and he kicks it all the way into center field. The Yankees score 2 and tie it up. How the hell does that even happen? I don't know. I don't know how it happens. But it happened because it's Josh Naylor. And then on Sunday, top of the 7th, just routine flip from the pitcher. And what's he do? He tries to barehand it. It was a bang-bang play. The Yankees player making his way down first base, hauling ass, trying to beat out an infield single. Pitcher goes to flip it to Naylor. Should have been an out. Naylor has his glove right next to his bare hand, decides to try to barehand it, and he drops the damn ball. It's a week and a half from hell for Josh Naylor. Hate to see it. And I like Josh Naylor. I think he's a good ball player. I think he's a bonehead. I don't think he's that bright. Like, if baseball IQ was talked about more, his IQ would not be very high. But I think his talent level is very good. So if he can mentally get better, I think Josh Naylor can be an okay baseball player. But you got to stop. I can't have 4 plays I can look at from 1 week, from 1.5 weeks. I can't have that. I should maybe be able to point out 1 for a young guy. I can't have 4. I can't have 4 things to point at and say, I hate that you did that this week. I can't do that. Come on, man. Come on, man. All right, going to wrap it up here. Second news segment. Just going to do an AL Central roundup here. And we will start with the Kansas City Royals, who enter today in first place, 14-7 on the year, just getting off a 4-game sweep of the Motor City Kitties. Pitching was unbelievable. They allowed only 4 runs to the Tigers in 4 games. On Wednesday, they walked it off against Tampa, won a shootout, 9-8. Final score there, mashing everybody. They get the better of Tampa. Last loss a week ago, last Tuesday against Tampa. They gave up some runs, 14 to be exact, to the Rays. Lost that game 14-7. But other than that, they have been lights out. And I mean, Danny Duffy, are you kidding me? The Indians know Danny Duffy really well, and they've hit Danny Duffy really well. He's got a .39 ERA this year. Yes, a 0.39 ERA. That means out of every 9 innings pitched, he is giving up less than a run. That means out of 27 innings pitched, he's giving up just more than 1 run per 3 starts. That is stupid, stupid, stupid. And now if you know what an ERA plus is, you're going to be amazed at this. If you don't know what an ERA plus is, just remember the baseline for all hitters is 100, or for all pitchers is 100. The baseline is 100. His ERA plus is 11.31. Baseline is 100. ERA plus just means you don't give up runs, and that's exactly what he doesn't do. So Kansas City off to a good start this year. Batters coming through. Danny Duffy really at the forefront of that rotation. To the Pale Sox, Yermin Mercedes continues to ball. I told you I'd get to him later. He's got a .429 batting average, getting on base 47% of the time, OPS 1145. He's got 15 RBI this year. Rookie year, balling. But what's balling even more is that rotation that the White Sox are throwing out there. And I know Lance Lynn is on the IL right now, but he's got a .92 ERA. Carlos Rodon, remember him through the no-no 2 weeks ago. He's got a .47 ERA. And Giolito, you saw him duel with Bieber last Tuesday. He's a stud. They got 3 front-of-the-line starters right now. Now, we'll see if it can hold up. Carlos Rodon, he's been up and down his whole career, so we'll see if he can keep it on an up this year. And Lance Lynn, we'll see how he comes back from injury. Wasn't supposed to be that serious of an injury, but now I think we're past the 10 days, so got to start asking there. And they got Michael Kopech. He's their 6th starter. He comes out of the pen sometimes. All he's done is thrown 15 innings and thrown up a 1.72 ERA. So the White Sox got pitching to go with Yermin Mercedes and Jose Abreu. Adam Eaton is eating right now, pun intended. Last week, White Sox 3-game sweep against the Rangers. They beat Cleveland the one day. Next game gets snowed out. They're on a 4-game win streak right now, and in those games, 29 runs in just 4 games played. So they're rolling on the offensive side of the ball and pitching pretty well as well. That gives them a 12-9 record, 2 games behind the White Sox. Indians 10-11, 4 games back. Minnesota Twinkies, they are on a bit of a skid right now. They've lost 12 of their last 14, really struggling. Offense in the last 14 days, they've only put up 42 runs. That's an even 3 runs a game, but they scored 12 runs against Oakland on Wednesday, still lost. Oakland put up 13. So if you take those 12 runs out in that game, they have 30 runs in 13 games, which gives them a little over 2 runs a game. So not too good right now. Mitch Garver, awful at the plate. He's their catcher. He's supposed to be their stud catcher for the next 5-10 years. He's batting a .160 right now. Byron Buxton, he's balling, actually. He's the one bright spot of the offense, hitting .382. He's got 6 dingers, 12 RBI. As a total, team batting average 237. Barrios, Pineda, J.A. Happ. They're actually doing very well right now for the Twins. Barrios 3.04 ERA, Pineda 2.42, J.A. Happ 1.69. Matt Shoemaker and their other starter, can't think of his name right now. I'll get it by the time I'm done talking. They're not doing too well. ERA in the in the 5s. The one's got a 6 right now. Let me get to it. Yeah, Matt Shoemaker has an ERA of 5.49. Kenta Maeda, he came over. He was supposed to be a big pickup. He's got an ERA of 6.11. So there's your Twinkies thing. And the Tigers are just awful. Do you want me to waste time on them? Their batting average is 209, which the Indians is 208. But their team ERA is 4.69, so they're giving them almost 5 runs a game. The Indians are giving up 3.5 runs a game, so they're a whole run worse than the Tigers when the Indians when it comes to pitching, and that's why they're sitting at 7-16, 8 games back in the AL Central. So there's your AL Central roundup. You heard what I love to see, hate to see. Bauers has got to be gone. Loop, there it is. I want to see it every day. And if Plesac can rebound the rest of the year like he did last night, I think the Indians pitching staff is going to have a lot of fun this year. So appreciate you joining me. If you haven't, go subscribe on Apple, on Spotify, on Google, and on YouTube. I would appreciate leave a comment, share it with your friends, family, your enemies. I said this in the first episode. Your enemies might hate you, but they might like me. So share it with them anyways. I would really appreciate it. Go follow Ghost Runner Media on Instagram. Trying to post more on there. It's ghostrunner_media on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter at Zach_Harley, ZACH_HARLEY. I would appreciate all of that. And until next time, Indians, you gotta get this offense together. Gotta get back to 500. I want them 500 by the time I see you again. So until then, be a good person. Be a great person. Do something nice for someone. I'll see you next week. Go try.